Good evening, everybody, and welcome back as we're back here continuing our week-long theme with the football team, talking about lineman love. And so we just got a chance to talk to David Benet on the offensive line that's done an amazing job this year. Hope you enjoyed that interview. Another group that's done an amazing job is the defensive line. And joining me now is senior defensive tackle Cooper Hansen. Cooper, thank you for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So Cooper, we had a big win against Baraboo Friday night, a big bounce back win, 44-15 the final. The defensive line had a big challenge in front of them, as Coach Olson had mentioned that one of their strengths was their offensive line. He thought that was a key to the game, was how you guys responded to that. And they had some big guys that were very highly touted. What was that like playing against that offensive line group?
It was the biggest line I've ever seen in my high school career. You know, you got guys 6'5", 295. You got that 6'7" guy that's going Division I. I forget what college he's going to. Doesn't really matter, but you know, at the end of the day, you just got to play the game.
Yeah. Do you ever get intimidated when you look across the line and you see these big guys, or how do you make sure to, not be intimidated by them?
You know, when I put my hand in the dirt and I look up at the guy, it's just time to play the game. We got to go. Let's go play the game. That's what I tell myself.
That's awesome, and that's the mindset you have to have. It doesn't matter who's across from you. You got a job to do. Speaking of a job to do, explain to our viewers what exactly is your job. So if Cooper Hansen is doing his job right, what will happen?
If I do my job correctly, we're going to shut down the play behind the line of scrimmage, or they're going to have like a 2-3 yard gain, and they're going to have to go through the playbook and just keep finding a play that might work for them. But our job is going to be complete if we do that correctly.
You're just trying to create chaos in that offensive, especially in that offensive backfield. And you guys have been able to do that. You and Trayvon Thompson, your partner in crime on that defensive line. How fun is it to play next to Trayvon? He's quite the character.
Me and T have probably the most chemistry on the team. He's my favorite D-tech to play with. We're just both monsters on the defensive line. Both of us, like you said, are the dynamic duo of the defense, and I just love playing with them.
And you talk about being intimidated. I'm guessing opposing offensive lines are intimidated by you two, as both of you have lots of size and lots of strength, and it takes a lot to move you guys. I wouldn't want to be in charge of having to move you. Tell me what your favorite part of playing on the defensive line is. What motivates you?
I just love contact. My favorite part of the game.
And you get contact on every single play playing on the defensive line. Do you ever get frustrated that other people are getting the credit when you're the one doing all the work, or how do you?
All the time. You know,
So
I'd make a tackle and, you know, they credit someone else, and I'm sitting there like, come on, that was me.
So what you're telling me, Cooper, is I need to make sure to say your name on those broadcasts and stop talking about all the other guys, right?
That'd be great.
I will do that. I'm on it. Tell me a little bit about what practice is like. I'm trying to think of the defensive unit. You got U and T, who have a certain job to do. You have the linebackers who have a certain job to do. You have the D-backs, all completely different jobs, but really you want to work together as one. What does practice look like for the defense? What do the defensive line do? What does the defensive line do on a daily basis? Is it a lot of weightlifting? Is it a lot of contact? Do you try to limit the contact? What does that look like?
So on Mondays, we're going to have a heavy lift and then a film study, and then we go out and have a little walkthrough. And then Thursdays, we have a little light lift and then a team dinner. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and usually Thursday at the beginning, we have Skelly, inside run, D time, and O time. Usually all that stuff, D line, O line, we're going to go through the shoots, work on fundamentals, height, staying low, getting extension, being physical, as Coach Heesh would say, and just working on fundamentals. And then all the D-backs, or the little guys, as we'd say, or they're off doing whatever they're doing over yonder.
Who cares what they're doing, right? You're working on the contact stuff. Right. You mentioned Coach Heesh a little bit. Let's talk about this coaching staff. I talk about, and Joel talks about every Friday, how fortunate we are to have the staff that we have, starting at the top with Coach Olson and then all the way down even to the volunteer coaches, the amount of time, the amount of effort that they put into helping you guys be successful on the football field. And it shows every single Friday. And we talk about it. Talk a little bit about Coach Heesh. How influential has he been in your life?
Coach Heesh is one of my favorite coaches on the staff. He always has the answers to my problems. if I'm ever lost or confused, I go to him and he'll dumb it down to my level. You know, he always guides me in the right direction, or what I need to do. He'll tell me how to do it. He's just been a great help to me in the team.
And the knowledge on that coaching staff is really phenomenal and something that we certainly should not take for granted. So, who do you model your game after? Who's your idol? What player in the NFL do you look at and say, "Man, I wish I could play like that"?
My favorite two from the NFL is going to be have to be J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald. Both monsters in the team.
Those are pretty good ones to look up to. Aaron Donald, right at that defensive tackle position, and man, he could take 4 or 5 blocks on at a time and still make the play. Yeah, that's exciting. All right, tell me a little bit about your dad. I know your dad was a youth football coach. I don't know if he's still doing it. Maybe he is. You can tell me. He's coached both of my two of the 3 of my kids in youth tackle football. How big of an influence has he been in your life?
My dad's been one of the great influences in my life. You know, every Thursday night, every Friday, usually morning, he always has a pep talk for me. Like, you can do it. Fear nobody. Let's just get it done. Let's just play the game. Do what you love.
Yeah, Jeremy does a great job. He was the first one I saw after that on Alaska game. That was a heartbreaker, and we were all kind of depressed. And the first thing he said to me as I was walking away is, "This does not define our season. We're going to bounce back, and this is going to make us an even better team." The positivity that he has was tremendous, and I'm sure that helped you get over that tough loss as well. This defense is a prideful group. I know it because I have one of them in my house, and I hear about how much fun he has, Zach George, playing on that defense. How much fun are you having, not only playing on that defense, but also producing and having the successful season that you are?
One of my favorite things on defense is getting what we call a 3 and out. You know, they had to punt on 3rd down or 4th down. We just go to the tent and we celebrate, have a great time, and we're hooting and hollering and watching the offense go out there and score. It's just a wonderful feeling.
And you guys are a resilient group as well, because there's been a couple times when the opening drive did not turn out the way we wanted. We didn't get that 3 and out. Baraboo was a good example. I don't know if it was the opening drive or the second drive. They scored a touchdown. We were down early in that game. A chance to hang our heads and feel sorry for ourselves, especially coming off the Onalaska game. Instead, we picked ourselves up and came back and really made it not even a ball game there in the second half. So kudos to you guys for being able to do that. Let's look ahead. Friday night, homecoming night. We got the Toma Timberwolves coming in. Toma, interesting team. They've lost 3 in a row. Those have all been really close games. In fact, quadruple overtime last week loss. You're looking at a team, as Coach Olson said in his pregame show, could really be 5-0 at this point if the ball bounces a different way in those 3 games. What do we know about Toma? What do you think we should expect from Toma?
You know, we had a little talk after practice today. One of my receivers, Henry Meyer, said, you know, Toma's going to come out hungry. They're hungry for a win. They need 4 wins in the regular season to go to the conference, the playoffs, and they're going to be hungry. They're not going to lay down and die for us. We're going to have to go out and work for it. And it's our homecoming, so I think energy is going to be high tonight. Not tonight, Friday night.
Yep.
And we're going to be ready as a unit.
That's good. There'll be a lot of distractions, a lot of stuff going on. So make sure you keep those guys focused on the task at hand. And as Coach Olson would say, you're looking to go 1-0 on Friday night, and I'm excited to see it. Cooper, I want to thank you for giving me your time tonight. I couldn't wait to talk to some of the linemen, and so I'm appreciative of the time that you gave and the interview that you gave. Thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem.
And for our viewers, I hope you're enjoying the student-athlete interviews. We're probably done with them for the week now. We got a bunch of them in. Tomorrow's homecoming. We got a lot of festivities going on at Central, so I'm not sure I'll have any time to do any more student-athlete interviews. We do have tomorrow night, though, the volleyball game at Onalaska. Joel and I will be providing play-by-play. It starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Turn it on about 5, maybe 6 o'clock. We should be getting up to Onalaska. We'll turn on the cameras as soon as we get there so you can see the score of the VR game. Joel and I will be live at play-by-play at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, Cooper Hansen and his squad on Friday night at UWL. Homecoming night against Toma. It's going to be a dogfight. We know it. Cooper's telling you it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be one you don't want to miss. So if you can't be there in person, make sure you tune in on the Central YouTube channel and listen to the call from Joel and I. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.